over 100 deaths last year. There's been over 400 deaths this year. It's just amazing how there's literally fire departments that are having to buy new refrigerators to store all the bodies. That's how many bodies they're recovering on the border. And so how is that secure in any way? It's just not.
Welcome to the Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and what to expect next. I'm here with Conn Carroll, the commentary editor. Kamala Harris recently went on Meet the Press and said the border is secure. What is your response to that?
No, Kamala, it is not secure, not at all. I mean, first of all, you can just look at the volume of the crossing. We've had a record 2 million illegal crossings this year, and even that kind of understates it, because then you have an additional 800,000 what the DHS calls gotaways, which is confirmed cases of someone, a migrant they saw illegally across the boat that they weren't ordered to catch. So that 2 million is migrants they actually kept, caught, and then either sent back to Mexico or allowed into the country. And the amazing part is they've let over 1 million of these migrants they caught into the country. But that's just one metric. There's another metric of deaths on the border. Deaths are 200% larger than when Donald Trump was in office. There was a record over 100 deaths last year. There's been over 400 deaths this year. It's just amazing how there's literally fire departments that are having to buy new refrigerators to store all the bodies. That's how many bodies they're recovering on the border. And so how is that secure in any way? It's just not.
And so life down on the border is, the insecurity of the border is lowering the quality of living down there, which might play into some of the polling we're seeing about Hispanics getting upset at the party currently in charge of the border, the Democrats.
Yeah, so Donald Trump actually did remarkably well among Hispanics. He did 40%, which matched the high that George Bush had in 2004. And then even since then, with polling throughout Texas and even the rest of the nation, we find that Hispanics, especially working class Hispanics, now actually prefer the Republican Party. And border security is a big reason why. When you have Hispanics in the community on the border that are seeing people cross their land, trespass, when they find dead bodies on their own land, and then to have Kamala Harris or Democratic office holders say there's no problem, everything's fine, they see the reality in front of them and they know Democrats are lying to them, and that's gotta hurt them.
Now, there are specific policies that the Biden administration changed that are probably exacerbating this in your view, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So for day one, President Biden ended President Trump's Remain in Mexico policy, which returned migrants to Mexico to have them wait while they filed for asylum. And he also loosened the Title 42 restrictions. So Title 42 was first of a COVID policy that said anyone who came would be returned back to Mexico. But on Biden's first day, he exempted unaccompanied minor children. And then a couple months later, he exempted any migrants coming with children, so family members as well. And both those policy changes, you can see in the data, in the DHS data, the numbers of unaccompanied minors immediately jumped right after he changed policy, and the same with families right after. It's a direct result of Biden's policies that we're seeing this security crisis.
Conn, thank you very much for joining me today. You can find more writing from Conn and the rest of the commentary team at washingtonexaminer.com.